Stop. She is doing this.
Those of us that indulge in or commit intellectual violence don't do so for the pleasure of mental masturbation or ego diddling. We do so because the chains of oppression in our people's minds are deep and difficult to remove.
Good morning, my children of the sun. Welcome to the Open Eye on WHGE 95.3 FM, the education advocacy station. I'm your host and third eye optometrist, Patrice Gibbs. That's right. Let me get my mic straight here. All right. Yes, indeed, we are ready to get them started. There's so much going on. It's just unbelievable. Some things I want to get to, some things I won't be able to get to. Let me tell you this, coming up after the Open Eye is Timeless Thomas, and immediately following Timeless Thomas will be Rachelle Wilson, who hosts Make Some Intelligent Noise. Okay, and today she wanted to make it known that her guest will be Minister Robert Muhammad from the Nation of Islam, and she will also be joined by Bishop Gibbs. Okay, and that will be today at 1. All right. WHGE. Oh, hold on. You know what? Let me get my disclaimer out the way here. Where is it? All right. Get that out the way, and we're gonna get them started.
The views and opinions expressed on Open Eye are those of the hosts, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the policy or position of WHGE 95.3 FM, nor our sponsor, the Delaware Center for Homeless Vets. Any content provided by Open Eye's hosts, guests, or contributors are theirs and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, company, or individual.
WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye. Yes, indeed. All right. We're going to keep it going here. Keep it going. Who we got? Hey. What's up, Steve? I see you there, bro. All right. I want to thank Sister Tracy for this. She posted this on Facebook. Just saw a post. Arm teachers and train them to fight. If they don't comply, they have no business teaching. Really? Look, and it goes on to say this, and I absolutely agree. Teachers are not your goddamn sacrificial lamb so that you can keep your AR-15. They are there to teach. Jeez Louise, what's going on here this morning? They are there to teach and educate children, not storm Normandy. The hell's wrong with y'all? All right. That's just nuts. Well, coming up this month, and I know later in the month I'll have more to say on the history of Juneteenth, but just something that recently came up. Look at here. Okay, Juneteenth, do your little history on it right now. Commemorated annually. It was just made a national holiday. June 19th. Juneteenth is the oldest known celebration of the end of slavery in the U.S. The Emancipation Proclamation issued by President Abraham Lincoln on September 22nd, 1862 announced that on the first day of January 1863, all persons held as slaves within any state in any rebellion against the U.S. shall then, henceforth and forever, be free. However, it would take the Civil War and passage of the 13th Amendment to the Constitution to end the brutal institution of African-American chattel slavery. I think it's important that we put that word chattel slavery in there because we have these right-wing white supremacists who want to go around talking about Oh, well, slavery, slavery was all over the world. Slavery was all over the world. Africans enslaved people and sold them and this, that, and the other. Chattel slavery in the U.S. was unlike anything else in the world. Be clear about that. It was unlike there was nothing as brutal and as evil as African American chattel slavery. Nothing. Okay. After the Civil War ended in April 1865, most slaves in Texas were still unaware of their freedom. Still unaware of their freedom. This began to change when Union troops arrived in Galveston, Texas. Major General Gordon Granger, commanding officer, District of Texas, from his headquarters in the Osterman building, read General Order Number 3 on June 19, 1865. The order stated the people of Texas are informed that in accordance with the proclamation from the executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves. With this notice, Reconstruction era, Texas began. Freed African Americans observed Emancipation Day, as it was first known, as early as 1866 in Galveston, Texas. As community gatherings grew across Texas, celebrations included parades, prayer, singing, and readings of the proclamation. In the mid-20th century, community celebrations gave way to more private commemorations. A reemergence of public observation helped Juneteenth become a state holiday in Texas in 1979. Initially observed in Texas, this landmark event's legacy is evident today by worldwide commemorations that celebrate freedom and the triumph of the human spirit. And as we know, last year, it became a federal holiday, okay? Okay, so it is being celebrated nationwide. Hey, Sharon. It's being celebrated. I see you there, Sister Ruth. It's being celebrated throughout the country. Okay? And that sounds like a really good thing, doesn't it? Celebrating the final end of slavery. Of course, we know slavery evolved and this, that, and the other. Okay? South Carolina is celebrating Juneteenth. Organizers of the Juneteenth event in the town of Greenville, South Carolina, are now under fire for hanging a banner for the event that displays a white couple. See, this is why you got to be careful about, including everybody in your celebrations that are specific to our people. Okay? You look around. I just think of Cinco de Mayo. You got more white people that celebrate Cinco de Mayo than Hispanic people. And they have absolutely no idea what it's actually about. Just like they have no idea what Juneteenth is about. That's why I'm not a big fan, like I said, of these federal holidays being recognized and we running around begging that, this needs to be included in the country and what have you. Because what happens, you get crap like this. Reuben Hayes, a black founder of Juneteenth, said the organization's goal was to represent multiple ethnicities. What the hell does Juneteenth have to do with multiple ethnicities? This is the kind of stuff that make me cuss. After putting these banners up and representing them the way that we wanted them represented was really a decision made by the Juneteenth GVL, Hayes said. It was approved by myself. There's a black man, as well as my co-founders. And we feel like they bring the right type of messaging of unity, freedom, and love. It ain't got a damn thing to do with unity, freedom, and love. It has everything to do with the freedom, with the freeing of black people who were not informed they were free by the rotten ass slaveholders in Texas. Now we got this mega fest where they run around putting all kind of people on the goddamn banners, putting a white couple. We do not want our celebrations. We do not need white faces to be the face of our celebrations. What the hell's wrong with you, brother? What's your name? Yeah, knucklehead. What's your name? Reuben Hayes. Reuben Hayes is a knucklehead. Goddamn Negro pen. WHGE 95.3 FM. The Open Eye. Hey, what's up, brother?
I got your message. I ain't get it yet.
Oh, okay.
Get ready for the ball.
All right.
I call you when I do the dirt.
Date. Okay. WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye. All right, brother. Nsoromma is in here getting set up. In the meantime, I'm going to deal with this. I want to thank Sherry for this. All right. Okay, this sister, she's a tech woman. She wasn't getting paid what she deserved. So she created a fake virtual white male assistant and it paid off. That's something I have experience with. It's crazy, but this just tells you, what we're dealing with here. According to Business Insider Jamira Burley, who is a 34-year-old woman who works in the tech industry. For the last 10 years, she had a fake assistant. His name is Matt, and he answers emails, negotiates rates, schedules meetings, and rejects offers that aren't up to par. He also doesn't exist. I immediately noticed that Matt garnered a level of respect that I, as Jamira, didn't. People will offer me more money when Matt was involved, and they treated me as more of a force to be reckoned with. Burley recalls the incident, which she says was an accident that led to creating Matt. It all started when she created a separate email account for people to use to contact her with opportunities. After receiving a response from a person that assumed they were speaking with an assistant, they decided to stick with it. As a woman of color who works in tech, I'm often the only person like me in the room. Having Matt on my side, a person who could be a white man, made me feel more confident. Talking through a man's voice helped me be able to ask for things I would have asked for as myself. Not just a man, sister, a white man. And the reason I say I have experience with this, I owned a copy business back in the 1990s, what have you. Okay? And business wasn't booming. I wasn't getting a lot of business coming in. All right. Well, what happened was I met this young Caucasian lady who, what she did was she was my outside salesperson. And she got me corporate accounts. Corporate accounts that I, as a black man, would not have had access to. And as soon as some of these, corporate customers found out that the actual owner of the business was a black man, that was the end of their account. Okay? So I know I just told you that on Juneteenth, we don't want, white people being the face of Juneteenth. Okay? When I was in business, it was more beneficial to have a white person to be the face of my business. Ain't that a blip? Now, I'm going to tell you something about black businesses. I recently went to a black-owned gas station. Okay? And the first time I went there, there's a black woman behind the counter, and I asked her, was black owned? Yes, it is. Okay. Well, so I'm going to be getting my gas and whatever's, what do you call that? Convenience store type stuff. Okay. Well, the last time I went in there was one day this week. And the black woman that I first met was in there. Okay. She was in there. And there was a young black man behind the counter. And, you know, having some familiarity with her, having met her, I went up and I asked her, you know, if I could get, I said good morning. That's the first thing I said to her. She said to me, didn't you see the sign that said, this cash register is closed? I was like, wow, that was really nasty. All I said was good morning. I didn't place an order for gas or anything. I just said good morning, and she blasted me out for speaking to her. Guess what I did? I turned around and went on out the store. I'm not going back there. I'm not going to spend my money with black people, okay, if they're not going to treat me with the same respect that I seen her treat white people with. You Negro peeing big wench. Go to hell. WHGE 95.3 FM. Nove and I will be back with Nsoromma.
Yo, did y'all know that he off the hook, yo? Jardale was good. Why darkness? Yo, Nsoromma in the building. I'm good. I'm him to blah, blah, blah. I'm all of that, you know what I'm saying? Sherry was good. Hey, what's up, Tracy? Steve, yo, hey, Dave. What's up, Dave? Earl? Hey, yo, hey, Daniels, what's happening? Hit me. I see you hit me on, call me on my number, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't answer FaceTime and all that. You see me enough on here. You dig me? Yo.
WHGE 95.3 FM, The Open Eye. Joined on the air, my partner in consciousness, Nsoromma. Oh, wait a minute, got your mic up. There you go, brother. What's up? Good morning, Nsoromma.
Chop. What's up, bro? Good morning, world.
All right. Unfortunately, I forget the brother's name that posted this. But I want to go over this right quick. While ruminating over racial dynamics, I began to think about religion. Europe invaded the Orient, but didn't kill Buddhism. The Euro invasion of India didn't kill Hinduism. Both these religions are given credence, while traditional African religious systems have been destroyed. Destroyed in the sense that they're regarded as paganism and devilry worldwide. They're not mentioned respectfully or taken seriously by anyone except a few practitioners. If that's not a reflection of the truth that anti-blackness is global, I don't know what is. Okay? And the thing about that, you know, evidence shows that statues of Buddha was that of a black-skinned, woolly-haired man with clearly African features. Okay? The people of India, Japan, China loved the teachings of Buddha. But they had a problem worshiping someone other than their own people. So they each changed Buddha to look like themselves, to look like someone from their own race. Europeans changed Mary and Jesus from the original black skin to white. No other race on the face of the earth will worship a deity that doesn't reflect themselves and their culture, except so-called Negroes. Think about it. We are the only race on earth that prefers to worship deities that do not look like us. No one else. Wake up, y'all. Now, between 1502 and 1503, Cesare Borgia hired Leonardo da Vinci to be an architect and engineer, in which him and Leonardo da Vinci also became intimate lovers in a homosexual relationship.
Wow.
Yeah. Expressing his love for Cesare, Leonardo painted many pictures of him. Cesare's father, Rodrigo Borgia, the gangster pope, who became Pope Alexander the Sixth, under the authority of the Catholic elite, had his son's pictures put up as Jesus Christ. And this was throughout the Western world. and ordered any pictures of a black Jesus destroyed. Cesare had sex with his own sister Lucretia, and he killed his brother Giovanni in 1497. And this is the man whom the Catholic Church gave their consent to allowing his picture to be put up and portrayed as Jesus Christ. So all you people running around worshiping this picture and putting that picture up of that white Jesus, what you're putting up is Cesare Borgia, who's an incestuous homosexual or bisexual or whatever he was, that slept with his own sister, slept with Leonardo da Vinci, and killed his brother. Jesus Christ.
And he was up in there, all the black people houses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I had mentioned
Posted high.
Yeah. Posted high. I had mentioned, just a week or two ago, how Ebony Magazine put a picture on the cover, 1969,
right,
of Black Jesus, and a whole lot of black people,
yeah,
threatened to cancel their subscription and damn near put Ebony out of business. The hell's wrong with y'all? Let me tell you something about Christianity. Okay, and I've said this a couple of times. Christianity is not popular by the value of its words, of its truth. It is not popular by the strength of the truth of the Christian word. It's popular by the quantity of violence that they brought with forcing people into Christianity. Like the Spanish Inquisition. Okay? The Spanish Inquisition, where they forced people, if you were a Jew or Muslim in Europe at that time, with the Catholic Church and what have you, and it was approved by the Catholic Church, okay, they would torture you until you confess Christianity, and they would kill your ass anyway. During the reign of Charlemagne, okay, and you know, Europeans, they really don't like women, okay? They really don't like women. During the reign of Charlemagne, women were impaled on sharpened poles that were put into their vagina, and they were slowly, over days, on this pole, they would travel down the length of the body, the pole would, through the organs, causing tremendous pain, simply because women were found collecting herbs in the forest, which were healing herbs, okay? But they considered that paganism because obviously, where did they learn that? Where did they learn botany to heal the person, to heal the body? Of course, they learned it from Africans. Yeah. They cut their women doing that, and they put a pole up through them that traveled through their body. Right? I tell you what, if they rolled up on you and said, are you a Christian? Amen. Praise the Lord Jesus. Because they ain't going to put a pole up your ass. God. Boop.
I know that was a big boot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
Boy, listen.
Yeah, that's what it is. But, you know, this is the thing that, you know, I tell our people, you know. One of these times, you know what I'm going to do a whole show just on religion. WHGE 95.3 FM. The Open Eye.
Jardale, what's good? Hey, yo, sick ass demons? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Oh, hey, Pat, it said, Sherry, what's up, Sherry? Sherry said that book, or that quote that you got, it was by Wayne B. Jot Sandler.
Okay, big up. Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you, Cherry. Thank you. What's good? Hey, yo, we got some more people out there, man.
Yes, we do.
Our squad be thinking the right with us stuff.
Yes, indeed. WHGE 95.3 FM, The Open Eye. You know, this is something I talked about. As bad as you think slavery was, it was a lot worse. You know, I saw my brother, and he said the same thing that Kanye West has said, that slavery was a choice. Slavery was a choice. And, you know, he said that because he said that our ancestors that were on the plantations didn't do anything themselves. And I tell you, brother, you need to study our history because that's just not true. Because what these people were suffering was unheard of brutality. It was brutality on a level that only the European could bring. And see, the thing you got to know about the European, they had a lot of practice in the art of brutality because they practiced on each other, and especially on their women, like I just now stated. Okay? All right? So to say that slavery was a choice, to me, is an insult to those ancestors that fought against slavery. Yes, by all means, we understand that Mother Harriet Tubman fought against slavery. We understand that Frederick Douglass fought against slavery. We understand that Nat Turner fought against slavery. But they're iconic, okay? Meaning that they stood out in their fight against slavery. They are iconic, okay? But there were many others, thousands of others, that fought against the institution of chattel slavery that was practiced on the African American. Okay?
I look at it as it was war.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
In war, you have no, how can I say that? In war, it's all fair game.
Mm-hmm.
So if we would have went back to war, which some of us did,
Mm-hmm.
but if we would have went back as a people and that community of color,
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have been a difference. I think it would have been a bigger change.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I hear what you're saying, bro, but understand this, that some of us did go back to war. For instance, in Florida, we always hear when slaves left the plantation to escape, they went north. Not all of them. A lot of slaves went south into Florida and joined the Seminoles, okay, which is where you got the Maroons and this, that, and the other, okay? And they did, as a matter of fact, they fought so strongly,
Right.
and with such bravery,
Right.
and with such success against the U.S., okay, and slavery, all right, that for the most part, the U.S. kind of gave up and they signed treaties with the Seminole because they couldn't whoop them.
Right.
That's what.
And then they kept fighting even though they signed them treaties.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
once they signed the treaties and they started doctrinating,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where
Mhm.
we tend to have really lost it, to me. You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, bro. But like I said, we gotta respect those ancestors that
Most
did
definitely. I
fight.
mean,
And I look at things like Mammy. Okay. Now, Mammy was a house slave, and a lot of times Mammy was considered a villain to the African American slaves on the plantation. All right, but this was not always the case.
right.
Okay, Mammy had a relationship with Master because, as a rule, Mammy came into the house not as a mammy, but as a beautiful young African woman who the slave master raped. And so she had a sexual relationship with it, as nasty and dirty as it was.
Right.
Okay, but that gave her some influence over Master because ain't nothing like the sex and loving of a black woman. Okay, so a lot of times she was the reason that, she learned to read and write a lot of times. And she wrote up your freedom papers so that you could escape. Mammy would crush glass and put it in the slave master's food. And over a period of time, it would kill him. That's why you've seen a lot of slave masters die young. Because Mammy poisoned that ass. Okay? A lot of times, Mammy was the only thing that stood between you and hunger. And Mammy would sneak some food out to the plantation black community.
And actually, a lot of women were breastfeeding
Yeah.
also.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If there's a famous picture that goes around on the internet, a brother that's getting ready to escape, and he's suffering from hunger, starvation. Mammy breastfed him and gave him the strength to go on and find his freedom. Nothing like him, man. I'm telling you. That's word. Now, recently I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next topic here.
All right.
And I'm sure you heard about what's going on in Florida with Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, okay, the white supremacist governor of Florida. Let's not mistake that, okay, and what he's doing with immigrants. He's passed these laws or signed into law these bills that basically make it illegal for immigrants to do illegal immigrants to do any damn thing in Florida. Yeah, right? Whether you're working, if you're caught with an illegal immigrant in your car, you can be arrested and charged with a felony. Okay? And of course, this is primarily directed at Hispanic people.
Well,
So,
I think it's about time they got off of black people and started spreading it around.
yeah, I heard that.
That's just real.
Dang, I
But
heard that.
that's wrong, you know. As you
Is it?
say, yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's wrong, but
You know.
it ain't stopping from doing it to us. So.
Right? Here's the thing, okay?
What?
Now, the Hispanic people are calling for a coalition, a black-brown coalition, to fight against what Ron DeSantis is doing to the brown people in Florida.
Oh, now they brown.
Oh, yeah, now they brown. Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
it's just funny, man, to me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it really is. They
Mhm.
sit around all this time and let it happen to another nationality, which is us.
Us.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But then you call on us to help, like all of them do. America called on us for help in the wars,
Yeah.
Tuskegee and all the rest. I
Mhm.
mean, it's crazy that they expect our help. You know what I'm saying?
It absolutely
How
is.
do you expect our help?
Yeah,
You know,
it's absolutely.
and you turn your nose up to some of the people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And see, I'm a numbers person, you know. I looked at the statistics, okay, and I saw that 54% of Cubans voted for Ron DeSantis or Trump. Okay, 57% Dominicans voted for Trump.
wow.
You know, 47% of Puerto Ricans voted for Trump.
And none of
But
them
now
look
y'all
out,
want our help.
yeah, and none of them look out for our best interest
Mhm.
in any of their decisions. You
No.
know what I'm saying?
That's what.
So that's what I mean by we have to be stronger as a people.
Mhm.
Instead of reaching out and helping all these other people, we
Right.
have to help ourselves first. You know,
Stop being Captain Saber Hub.
yeah, that's just not the way anymore.
What friends? What friends?
Right. I
All
mean,
right. Black people must stop being fooled by white people who speak Spanish and tan well. Don't get it mixed. They're white supremacists. They are still white supremacists and hate black people.
That's
Take,
right.
for instance, Camila Cabello.
Camilla Cabela.
Yeah. She's a Mexican of Cuban descent.
Right.
Okay? And she's a racist white supremacist. Forget about it. Oh, the M word rolls off her tongue as easily as she rolls ours. At the Grammy, she made a much lauded speech in support of DACA, the Dream Act, you know. Right? At one point in her speech, she declared Dreamers built this country. I be damned. Hispanic people did not build this country. Black people did. Arab people did not build this country. Black people did. Chinese, Asians, or whatever else did not build this country. Cut that crap.
Black people did.
Black people did. That's a slap in the face to all blacks in America, to all Africans, especially coming from a white supremacist. Every white, liberal, and black politician is in support of this DACA Dream Act and helping the illegals and what have you. Ironically, many of the dreamers being deported voted for Trump, just like I told you, because of his obvious dislike for black people. And now y'all want to call for help. They thought of him as a kindred soul because he disliked black people, just like your sorry ass.
Ooh,
Don't get it mixed. These
But
people.
my
Huh?
fault.
Go ahead.
But Trump did give up the blacks. That he was the first president to announce that blacks was a major big part in creating America.
Yeah, and a broken clock is right twice a day. I ain't give a
I'm
damn
just
about
saying he did recognize. No other president recognized that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I
That's
understand
it.
that.
That's the only thing I'm saying.
Okay, but he's still a rotten son of a bitch.
The boot was late. Keep going,
Look,
man.
these people are not your friends, black people. You want a friend? Like Dr. Clark taught us. Look in the mirror.
Yeah, he ain't your friend sometimes.
Who? Dr. Clark?
You in the mirror.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I was going to say, if that face in the mirror ain't friendly, you in a lot of trouble.
I'm telling you.
Jeez Louise. WHGE 95.3 FM.
Y'all got,
No,
hey,
man.
yo, Jardale, your boy Crazy Chase say, all right, I need that data, bro. Patrice, how they voted.
Oh, okay.
All right, and then it said the KKK speaks Spanish now.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
Henry Ernicu Tory. Henry Ernicu Tory, who is an African-Cuban background, was the Florida State Director of grassroots organization Latino for Trump.
Yeah. SOB. That word. Sorry.
There's no defending Trump. That's right, Jordan. I ain't defending that. You know what I'm saying? Almost caught him in, but you know what I'm saying? Yo. Hey, Jordan, boy.
Pick up, brother.
Good looking. Hey.
WHGE 95.3 FM. The Open Eye.
Y'all.
You know, it's something, one of the things in Florida. You know, actually, what was it this fool said? The Satan.
Satan?
Yeah, the Sanders, the Satan.
The Satan.
Yeah,
The
he's
Satan?
a white devil.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's a devil. That's a doggone sure. You know, of course, he's for banning books. He does, you know, he actually said that teaching white children that America was built on stolen land is an untruth. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. See, that's what he want to do. He want to lie about the history.
That's what they've been doing all this time.
Yeah.
This ain't the first lie.
I know. And that's where these book bans are coming from. All right? Now, this one was real crazy. Amanda Gorman, who I told you last week, her poem was banned in Florida. All right? And she said, one parent, you probably ain't gonna like this.
Right.
One parent could get my poetry banned from classrooms, and yet one country can't ban assault rifles from massacring. And that's what she said. One parent got her book banned. And I'm going to tell you about this parent. Okay? Here's the crazy. The Florida parent who had Amanda Gorman's poem removed from school doesn't read. She said, I'm not an expert, I'm not a reader, I'm not a book person. I'm a mom involved in my children's education. No, you ain't. You illiterate hussy. And you can't read. All right? Her name is Daly Salinas.
Daly Salinas.
Salinas. Okay. There you go, killing that black-brown coalition again. Because Daly Salinas is Hispanic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Last week, told you about a Miami area parent whose complaints about Amanda Gorman's poem, The Hill We Climb, caused it to be removed from a local elementary school. Now that parent is admitting to the rest of the world that she didn't even read the damn thing.
And that's crazy.
Mm.
Because they had let the LBDGT come in and dance for your kids in class on the poles.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I don't know about-
one parent stood up and said nothing about that, and it got, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's so crazy with this, what you just mentioned about, having the drag people, drag queens or
dancing.
whatever.
What does that accomplish? What in school? What are they learning?
You know what? I ain't with that.
Educational purposes.
I ain't with that.
But yet you want to take out a historical poem that a young leader of our black nation, because that poem could just have been as famous as Martin Luther King's speech. And I mean, they're not the only people that's representing our culture. And the people, when they see people that's representing our culture that can blow up like these people do. They put water on a fire.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? They try to put it out as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crazy, man.
Yeah. Now, according to the Miami Herald, the pissed off parent, Danny Salinas, is the mother of 2 students at Bob Grant Education Center, a K-8 located in K through 8 school located in Miami Lakes. Salinas expressed her complaints about the poem Gorman read at President Joe Biden's inauguration, along with other children's titles. The ABCs of Black History, Cuban Kids, Countries in News, Cuba, and the Love of Langston, for including references of critical race theory. Critical race theory is not taught in elementary schools, you ignorant hussy. Indirect,
Isn't that a college thing?
yeah. Indirect hate messages and gender ideology indoctrination, according to the Florida Freedom to Read Project. And in May 24th interview with the Jewish Telegraphic Agency, Salinas was asked about her book challenges as well as anti-Semitic content found on her Facebook page, including a disturbing post with a list of steps of how Jewish Zionists would achieve world domination, including replace royal rule with socialist rule and so on and so forth. Anyway,
Right.
her problem had nothing to do with the content of the poem.
Right.
Had absolutely nothing to do with the content of the poem. Her problem was the poem was written and read by a black woman. That was her problem, you racist ass husband.
Ooh.
Right?
Did I
And see, what it comes down to is, you know, she's part of the right-wing Republicans and this, that, and the other. A political party devoid of new ideals starts stripping people of their rights, voting, reproductive, etc., to assert their dominance and control. It's the road to authoritarianism.
Yeah.
You know where the road leads? Authoritarianism. Thank you, Chuck Tarver, for that little comment right there. All right?
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. The moral crisis of our age actually has nothing to do with gay marriage or abortion or cross-dressing or even these drag queens. It's insider trading. Obscene CEO pay. Okay? Let me tell you something. And I mentioned this last week. Okay? CEOs in other countries like Japan, okay, their pay compared to a regular worker's pay is 11 to 1. The obscene CEO pay here in the U.S. is something like 450 to 1. Wall Street's continued gambling addiction, theft from ordinary workers, corporate payoffs to friendly, crooked-ass politicians, and the billionaire takeover of our democracy.
Right.
Now, here's the thing, and it makes me think of a right-wing Republican that I talked to. You want the government to stop giving poor people free stuff. Funny how you don't give a damn about the $70 billion a year that America spends on subsidizing Wall Street banks who gamble up your money and F up your money. F up the whole economy.
Plus all the money they take from the taxpayers.
Right?
That's where the money's supposed to be going. That's why people pay taxes.
Yeah. So we're supposed to get goods and services that we're not getting. Okay? Especially not in our neighborhoods. And this is not just national, but it's local.
I work to pay taxes to help take care of my little brother or my little cousin.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it never gets to the people that's supposed to have it, really. You
No.
know what I'm saying?
Because we are in this trickle-down economy. And if you're a poor person, the only thing that trickles down on you is piss.
I thought you was going to say, yo, you stupid.
That's words, you know? I'm telling you. And just recently, this is something else, you know, because I remember I asked this right-wing Republican. It seems to me that Republicans hate poor people. You know, in the 60s,
they hate them back.
Hate them. LBJ declared war on poverty. They turned into a war on poor people.
Wow.
And I asked him, I said, why do you hate poor people? He said, because they're poor. I said, well, damn, what kind of mess is that? I mean, he said, well, they choose to be poor. Nobody chose to be poor. If you look at the list of all the things that people did not want to be, right near the top of that list, right before or right after sick and dead is poor.
And they never say how they poor and why they staying poor, because they got all of these
there you go.
holdbacks put in position for people of color and legally. So how is how are you supposed to do anything if you got a legal document saying you can't do this because of your skin color? Come on, man.
And of course they much slicker than that, because they don't come right out now and say it's skin color. They make this general statement, and they
but they apply it to you though.
But they apply it to you.
It's a broad statement, but it's only applied to you. I mean, that's the slickness in
that's word. And look, you know what these Republicans think? They don't think poor people deserve to eat.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't. Look, they don't need to eat and they don't deserve to eat. That's their mindset.
Wow.
Okay, that's their mindset. That's the directive from House Speaker Kevin McCarthy and Republicans who stop at nothing to punish poor people for being poor, including people who have been struggling for years, since well before the pandemic, people who had children, people who are older. In fact, the age increase from 49 to 55 years old for work requirements for federal benefits mean that older people without children stand to get hit the hardest. Right? So if you're an older person without children, 55 or over, okay, they're going to cut your food benefits. The provision will put about 900,000 folks between the age of 50 and 55 at risk of losing their food assistance. I actually seen a black man actually told me they need to cut food stamps. They need to cut food stamps because our people became dependent on that, and that's what's holding us down. All right, and then he went in the goddamn store and pulled out his food stamp card. Good Lord.
Yo, man.
Feeding into these conspiracy theories and crap. Just to get this straight, McCarthy's mind, children have no worth or value unless they're working. They have passed laws now, okay, that allow for child labor, where 15 or 16-year-olds can now work the graveyard shift. These people got to get up and go to school. Okay? Oh, they don't give a damn because now they can work the graveyard shift. Now, because places like Florida have chased off the immigrants who were working the farms, because we ain't going to do it. White people ain't going to do it. Okay? But damn if white people won't send their children out there on those, on these migrant farms to pick fruit and pull cotton.
You know who used to
and
do
it's
it?
illegal.
The Mexicans and the team.
Yeah.
Willingly.
Willingly.
For that $2.
Yeah, they would do it.
Yeah.
That's
they
why.
come
And
from
they
a
had the
place.
strength
Yeah.
to do it. Okay, but Ron DeSantis and other Southerners, they running them off and telling them, nah, we can't have y'all around here with this, And then what happens is,
they call on the black people to start making
what they're going to do is they're going to go to the prison system. And drag them out there and make them work for 12 cents an hour.
Because they can do that too. It's a private organization. They can do a contract with a prison system, and boom, they got another slave.
That's what they got.
Team going on.
Another slave team going on.
Yeah,
that's word. WHGE 95.3 FM. Learn up. Open eye. Yo,
Sherry, and the bad part is many of those poor people were white and voted for the Republican. Jordan. And the bad part, many of those people, okay, boom, boom, boom. The prison system legalized slavery. Yeah, you know what I mean? Most definitely. What's good? You know what I'm saying? I ain't making no noise. Leslie, Kiana, Yaga. What's happening? Friday.
Yeah, we got a few minutes left here.
Yeah.
Thing.
What else? Who else said something? Vaughn, what's good? I see you, bro.
All right. WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye. We cannot get out of here without mentioning, this black and brown coalition or this black and yellow coalition. It doesn't exist. If you think it does, let's go down to South Carolina, okay, where Rick Chow, an Asian store owner, murdered a 14-year-old boy who he falsely accused of stealing a bottle of water. Remember when the Rodney King riots happened?
Yeah.
It wasn't just about Rodney King, because remember the young girl that was shot in the head by the Asian woman in her store because she felt threatened by this girl? Yeah, and she got charged with manslaughter. You shot somebody in the back of the head, you got charged with manslaughter. Okay, and they ran what I say his name was? Rick Chow ran up on this boy, and the boy fell. He's running, and shot him in the back. And his son was with him, and his son needs to be charged as well. I'm gonna go a lot deeper in this because we're coming to we're coming to the close of the show and what have you.
Right.
All right. But look, this mythology that white supremacists put out, who are really the villains attacking the Asian community, is that black people are attacking the Asian community. It's not so. It's not so. All right. The Asian community are surrogate white supremacists. They're considered the model minority. They're set up in businesses in our community. Often they treat us with disrespect and murder. You think I give a damn, fool? That's what you think I give a damn about them? Run them the hell up out of their neighborhoods, just like we need to run the Arabs up out of our neighborhoods and the people disrespecting and murdering our people. They ran down a 14-year-old child and murdered him in the street. Oh yeah, their store was vandalized and tore down. We should take a lesson from our brothers in Jamaica when these Asians built this hotel. And only declare only white people and Asians could come in the hotel. Jamaicans burnt that thing down.
That's right. I mean, just think of the mindset they have to be able to think they can come into your community and say, you can't come into this store.
Yeah.
When they won't give the people in the community who's responsible people. I know a lot of responsible people that of color that can handle any type of business that you put in their path.
That's right.
But yet they never get the opportunity to make it better for their community. They always bring an outsider in and import and export our finances.
That's right. And of course, here's the thing. They couldn't find nothing on the boy. Okay? Because what they usually do is when a black child is murdered by one of these white supremacists or surrogate white supremacists like Rick Chow, okay?
They look for the bad stuff,
they try to find a way to blame
when he was two.
Yeah. He didn't go to school. What I found out was Rick Chow, this ain't the first time he done pulled a gun on a black person. This ain't the first time he done shot at some black people. I want to know why the hell he ain't in jail. When a targeted population is continually criminalized and dehumanized in the media, this makes killing them appear as always justifiable.
Normal.
It's psychological warfare. The tactic is called manufactured consent to mistreat. White supremacy is at war with black people, and they use their media and their surrogates to facilitate this white supremacist agenda.
Wow.
And you can go to hell. You can go to hell. WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye. We are closing out the show here.
Yep.
And as we always tell you, destiny determines who enters your life, but you decide who stays. Therefore, value those who value you, and don't treat those as a priority
who treat you as an option.
WHGE 95.3 FM, The Open Eye. I'm Patrice Gibbs.
Nsoromma in the building.
Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for Timeless Talks.
We're going to say something about ourselves.
I did in the beginning. Yeah.
Patrice.
Yes. Yeah. I got
Yo, you know what's up? Thank all y'all for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Yo, the boy is going in on it, yo. For real like that, yo. Here you go. Hey, yo, Pat, you got something to say, man?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You know what I always got to say to you. First of all, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate your love. I really appreciate your participation. And I want to shout out to everybody that posts great stuff for us to bring to the people. Global African supremacy. Because the world was a much better place when the black man ruled. Peace.
Yaga! Streaming all platforms, you dig? Thank y'all. One.
Peace.